Good afternoon. Welcome to the Friday, August 15th, public meeting of the Kingston City Land Bank's Acquisition, Disposition, and Construction Committee. My name is Mike. I serve as the meeting's moderator. We do ask that members of the public limit their comments to no more than 2 minutes per speaker. And with that, I will turn it over to the committee chair, Mr. Aaron Chilwich.
Hi, everyone. Thank you, Mike. Good to be back with you. We have a decent amount to talk about today. So to start, why don't we get into, thank you, Mike, also for sending around the agenda that we discussed.
Sure.
I appreciate it. Well, why don't we start with Keystone? So at this point, we have 4 homes sold, 2 homes finishing construction. And I guess, Mike, you want to talk us through the first couple items on your list?
Yeah, sure. So this week we had our final walkthrough with the architect and general contractor on the last 2 homes in Keystone Phase 2. That's 488 Hasbrook and 52 Grand. We have a path forward to navigate through the final requisition on this project and also the one prior. So it involves some background paperwork, but we're all on the same page with the contractor and the architect around that. And that is my update. The homes look great for what it's worth. They are amazing transformations of homes that were previously in pretty rough shape. And so we are transforming that corner, and we look forward to doing so with some updates that Kyle will have a little later on about the campaign. If I could jump down to the security system, just a brief note for the purposes of the public meeting, we've installed a security system at the homes and may upgrade that security system, but just for the purposes of this committee reporting, we do have elements in place around that.
Glad to hear. Great. Kyle, you had circulated your financial summary. Oh, there you go. Perfect.
Cool. Yeah, this is the update here based on the upcoming requisition. Well, the kind of current and upcoming requisition. Major things to note here, almost entirely drawn down on our LBI funds. The balance of this will be coming from the final construction costs at Hasbrook, at which point we will be entirely relying on our equity in Novo for the rest of the project. This ARPA balance was transferred over for the 46 grand demolition, so that's really zero now. But yeah, nearly wrapped up with what's looking like substantial savings, primarily in the form of unspent hard cost contingency. But yeah, still have, a little bit more to go in terms of construction at Hasbrook and Grand. But yeah, everything's proceeding on time or under budget, and
That's great.
yeah, excited to start wrapping this one up.
That's great. Thank you, Kyle. And I saw on Owen's summary that the Grand and Hasbrook were with the recs that are pending, that are under review. Both of those will be at 100%. So everything is in good shape. Any questions for Kyle from anybody? All right. So then sales and marketing, Kyle. What's our plan?
I distributed some flyers earlier. If you'd like to take a look at those and pass along any feedback you may have to me. I'm not a professional graphic designer, but did spend some time in Illustrator and InDesign, as Aaron can attest to. Yeah, but a lot of this was basically modeled on what we've done in the previous campaign, which brings me to what I believe I'm screen sharing right now, which is our marketing campaign calendar, which was modeled off previous versions. You might be familiar with this, where we just kind of go through steps we'd like to see along the way. This is initially taken from legacy cities when we had state mandated marketing requirements, certain things that they needed us to do, radio advertisements and multiple newspaper ads and things like that. But we trim this down to stuff that we think is, important, necessary. But big picture item, big picture, we are looking to start right after Labor Day on this campaign and do a 1-month campaign this time around. So start right after Labor Day, make our registration deadline October 3rd. Rupco, who we plan on partnering again, will have a month to work with the applicants on their intake packages. And that will give us sufficient time for review for a lottery on the board meeting right before Thanksgiving. So yeah, we think this is a pretty, fast timeline, but given the prices of the homes, we think that these are going to be a popular amongst the community. And yeah, we showed the comms earlier to get their input, and they're going to be involved in some community outreach events, or reaching out to various members of the community. If anybody on this call would like to join any of these sessions, or feels, we will have flyers drafted also, which I've sent around, as I mentioned, and I'm sure Mike will have those at the no, not at the next board meeting. But yeah, can take some and when we have them and hand them out. But yeah, anything else, Mike? I think I should hit on this.
I think you got it.
Cool.
I like the idea. I don't think we've done them before. I really like the idea of the yard signs because you see them all over Kingston, especially on some of the bigger streets like Albany and Broadway and off Broadway at Vauxhall. And I think that'll get a lot of attention. I did wonder, and I'm not a design expert. I did wonder if it was too much text, like too much for a yard sign, but I don't know. It's like it's hard to get it. It's hard to get it right. So maybe it's fine, and then I'm overthinking it.
Yeah, I mean, that's always one of the hard things with this is like we have certain, reporting, we have certain requirements like, saying purchase price versus maximum cash purchase price and things like that. It's hard to get it down to the bare minimum, but yeah, I can take a look and see if I can streamline it further.
Where's the copy on that? I haven't seen.
Oh, Kyle, I think you sent it just to the comms.
Did I not distribute it
ADC
to
earlier today.
Oh, did he?
ADC? I think
Oh
I
no,
sent it.
is it the one at the end of the it looked like a flyer? I realized it was a sign as well.
Oh, never mind. Yep, I see it.
Yeah, I sent it as a
Yeah.
reply to the financing update. Yeah, there's 4 files there.
Okay.
And just
But yeah,
for
one is a
context,
yard sign.
Okay.
the reason that we're not pulling them up and everything is because we haven't settled the pricing, and there's like a lot of stuff that because this will go on YouTube, and you don't want to say like,
Okay.
I saw it on YouTube and it said this, but
No,
Just
of course.
hopefully
Yeah.
that makes sense, Joanna. Hopefully, okay, cool.
Yeah. No,
I know
I
you know
appreciate
that.
it. Great price.
Will be.
I think these will be the 2 most affordable homes we've ever sold.
Say that for sure. Exciting.
Amazing to be able to do that, given prices in Kingston overall right now. Cool.
Okay.
Well, Kyle, keep us updated and let us know what else you need as we get closer. I know we're a couple weeks out now, but we can, happy to. I imagine you'll send an email about circulating flyers and the yard signs, and happy to start putting them up wherever go around town and spamming everybody. So
That's good.
Cool.
Our new media consultant will be engaged in this as well. That's
Yes.
anything else on Keystone from anybody? All right, then let's go to home.
Sure.
Mike, yeah, Bill Lake modular. Bill Lake.
Totally. So it's a little confusing in a sense that we have a modular building provider combined with an architect, combined with a general contractor. So it's like a little tough to keep in order until it all comes into focus. But in essence, the modular provider has received feedback from us through our design committee and this committee. They have come back with today their next round of revisions to those plans that we will review internally and also at design committee next week. That is my update on the status with the modular provider, other than to note, as I think has been noted at this meeting previously, the process for this, working with the modular provider, is to sign off on the plans, and the modular provider is tasked with going to the state through the state approval process for modular construction. It takes about 90 days. And then having gotten this approved set of plans and worked with the architect on the foundation site plan, we then have a package that we can bring out to bid. That makes sense. That is my update on the Bill Lake portion. Similarly, with LMV, the architect that we've selected for the site plan and foundation design, they are moving forward with some minor revisions to the Murray Street site, but we continue to progress with them on the same timeline roughly as Bill Lake Modular, which was always the intent. And so those are my updates so far on this portion of the home project.
Nice. That takes us through Bill Lake and LMB.
Yep.
Okay. And then HCR FUL. So this FUL, for everyone else who doesn't know, is a follow-up letter, and it's in a phase of environmental review where the agency asks you a whole bunch of questions and gives you a whole bunch of things you have to do, and then you have to go answer their questions and do them. I think that's a pretty good. So Kyle, what's the update there?
Latest update is there are 3 remaining items on this checklist out of, I believe, 17. One of them falls in our court on, and we should have a letter, wrapping that up next week. The other 2, we are waiting on responses from the DEC. Just get us some paperwork and for them to review some components of our project. And so that has been a little, frustrating on our end to it's a very, I think, overworked organization. And it's hard to get feedback there, but our latest understanding is that at the very latest, we should be able to wrap this up by mid-October. As one of the things that we've put up for review has a 90-day review timeline, and if they don't respond by 90 days, and then we send a certified letter, then we're considered it's considered reviewed and acceptable. So hopefully it wraps up sooner than that, but if not, mid-October, we should be finished with this process. Or we should be finished with the checklist portion of the process.
Right. I was going to say. And then what happens after that, Kyle?
Then we enter the public review period and
The publication period and the public
publication.
review?
Yeah.
It's a while.
So, yeah, we are trying to get this done as soon as possible, but it is a bureaucratic process.
For those of you who haven't, better things to do than follow DEC's ins and outs, they changed. There was, I guess, Kyle and Mike, I'm sure, can explain it in far more detail than me at this point, but there was a change in federal guidance related to wetlands and DEC basically changed their rules, but the rules are not really defined yet. As such, I mean, basically projects statewide have gotten stuck in DC's pipeline. Might cut me off if I'm saying things that are incorrect.
You're not.
And to the point that I think there are 4 or 5 now lawsuits against DEC. So the fact that we have an end in sight is wonderful news.
We have an end in sight to begin the process.
Yeah. Well, listen, that's your and Kyle's persistence has gotten us, this far. So
It's all Kyle. I
take
just
us through.
whine about it.
Is an
We'll get there.
expert bureaucracy navigator, really is.
I don't know if that's a compliment.
Show up
And
with
it was intended as-
donuts to a back office if you need to.
We'll get there. We will get there.
All right, so now then the pipeline. So Mike, 46 grand, our nice vacant lot. We're putting up a fence. Tell us all
We
about it.
are. If you were to drive by today, you might notice that it's not an entirely vacant lot. It still has some heavy machinery and some construction debris in nicely organized barrels. I'm told that those will be removed shortly. But once we have confirmed we do in fact have, as you said, a nicely vacant lot, we will commence with installing a fence along the perimeter, and in somewhat inviting fence versus what you might see on a pending construction site. That is my update on that. We do have proposals for that work, and so just sorting through when to commence, and it is in accordance with our procurement policy, and so just so everyone's aware, you'll see a fence relatively soon, possibly before the start of the campaign is when we would commence. The second update I have is on the Housing Action Fund. All this to mention that we did not receive word from the county legislature as we were told we would in July as to the thumbs up, thumbs down on our pending award for funds to apply to this project. We have a plan in place to engage with the county directly around this, pending our application to the state of New York for Land Bank Initiative Round 2 funds, which is due on the 28th of August. So we'll have another substantive update by the next meeting, but just wanted to give the interim update that unfortunately we have no update on the Housing Action Funds. Sometimes you got to wait.
Curious, so once all of these things are cleared, hypothetically, when would construction on the long-term projects begin if everything was went the way we would like it to go?
Sorry, you broke up a little bit, Joanna, because there's so
sorry.
many projects. Which one were you referring to?
No, homes, the modular home projects, the home that on the lots, because I know there's so much to clear first. So are you looking at 2 years, a year? Like I'm just curious when you would imagine.
Yeah, Kyle, I think, please correct me if I'm wrong, if you had said we're looking at a October 15th
You
date
said-
to receive, to navigate through that checklist item to commence the process of the National Environmental Policy Act review process, which itself requires a 22-day publication period and then 60 days of public comment. So say that that's 90 days after October 15th. Only then would we receive approval to do any capital improvement on the site. So we're moving towards that timeline, which feels like it could be spring-ish of 2026. The challenge, however, is that there's a separate rule related to removing trees on a site. You can only do it between November and March of each year, or you must wait until the next November. So the question in my mind is, to answer your question, are we able to do this by March? I think it's March. Or do we wait until November of 2026? And I don't know the answer to that.
Okay, that's helpful. Thank you.
Yeah,
And the
course.
modular companies are just on deck. They're not on a timeline, and the funds correlate to that as far as like when we have to use the funds and everything.
Correct. There's no risk.
That timeline.
There's no risk to either timeline with modular or the home fund award or LBI. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I think Joanne.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Sorry, Joanna, you froze with a
Sorry, I don't know if I'm still frozen, but I got that. Thanks for the info.
So anything else for public discussion before we move into executive session? I guess since it's a public meeting, we should vote to go into executive session. So I will ask for a motion to go into executive session.
And I might add,
Motion.
Aaron, that the reason for going into executive session relates to either pending, issues that could affect the value of real estate or private, matters.
Yes. We got a motion from Joanna and a second from Rebecca. All in favor?
Aye.
All right. Thank you all for being here today. I hope you all have a lovely weekend. I'll see at least a couple of you tomorrow. If anybody wants to come out to the farmers market, be there for the land bank tomorrow morning, the Uptown Farmers Market. And with that, a motion to adjourn the meeting.
Motion.
And
to adjourn.
I think that's a second as well. All in favor?
Aye.
And
Yes.
we are adjourned, unanimous.
Yep.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
And
You have a good weekend.